What's going on, guys? It is a special Falcon and Winter Soldier Episode 5 spoiler discussion and finale preview we're doing right now, right here on the Movie Idiot channel. We are streaming live on Facebook. We are streaming live on Twitch, there we go, and we're streaming live on YouTube right here with you guys. We're going to be talking all things, all spoiler discussions for Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I am excited, you guys. I know I haven't done many of these, and let me give a little preface as to why that is. So WandaVision was very... It was a show that had a lot of, like, theories and things like that going on. Whereas Falcon and Winter Soldier, I don't feel like had a lot of theories and stuff. So, and on top of being really busy lately also. But I feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier wasn't one of those shows where we had to follow it week to week to week until about episode 4. And then all of a sudden, it has now been like, oh my God, whoa, this just got crazy interesting. And I'm going to kind of give my initial thoughts of the series as a whole, and then we'll delve into the episode 5, and then we'll delve into all the questions about episode 6, and then we'll delve into your guys' questions and comments also. And feel free, of course, as we're streaming, to hit me up with the comments section on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, or of course, the best way to submit comments to the show is through the tip link. And you can do that, of course, at streamlabs.com/movieidiot. When you submit comments through the tip link, you're supporting the show, and I really appreciate that, and thank you. All right, so, and also, of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff too. We want to try and build up this fan community here and get a bunch of people interacting with us as well. So I'll make sure we get that out of the way. Okay, we got all that crazy stuff out of the way. So here's what we're going to do. My initial thoughts on the show as a whole so far. 5 out of 6 episodes done. If you would have asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have told you that this show is not as good as WandaVision. WandaVision was engaging. It was all about the fan theories. It was fun. It was quirky. It was weird. Plus, it had some of that action in it, too, which was awesome. So I would have told you that I was enjoying WandaVision more until episode 4 of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Episode 4 dropped the hammer down, or the shield down, so to speak. And ever since, man, episodes 4 and 5 were stellar. Episode 4, I think, is the best episode, but episode 5, right behind it. I know a lot of people have some issues with this show because they think it's a lot of exposition. A lot of boring, no action. I look at that as character development and building for a huge payoff. Hopefully, it does pay off in episode 6. That's the goal, right? But I don't even think, especially with WandaVision and this show too, I don't think the payoffs for all of this exposition are just for this show. I don't think it's just for this. I think that the payoffs are going to be later. I think we're looking at payoffs that are going to hit long down the road. Way after this. So, in my opinion, I feel like, yes, there is a lot of exposition, and yes, there is a lot of boring talk, and but at the same time, I like it. I think it's good character development, but also, I'm telling you guys, there's going to be huge payoffs coming down long after this show is done. Long after this last episode that drops this Friday is done, in the movies coming up, I feel like there's going to be lots of payoff moments that were set up from these shows, WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, respectively. So, I now put this show just under WandaVision. I still, especially since it's 6 episodes, I feel like they really did need to do a little bit more to engage the audience, for sure. And, it wasn't as good until episodes 4 and 5. But I do think that it's just under WandaVision as far as watchability and enjoyability, and still really good. The Rotten Tomatoes scores are reflecting as much. WandaVision's are up in the 80s. And then I think a Falcon and Winter Soldier is critic rating of 80 and audience rating of like 70 something. So, it's showing in the reviews as well to where the show is at. So that's kind of my overall review or take on the show as a whole. So there is something that I did want to address right off the top. And I tossed and turned on whether I should do that. On this channel, I don't do politics. I don't like doing politics. I'm not into politics. I don't want, we're here to talk movies, TV, that kind of stuff. But there is if you're watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, there's a growing group of people who feel that this show is very anti-American, anti-military. And I can see why. And they're coming out saying, Marvel is anti-America and Marvel is anti-military. And well, I can see why that is. I mean, the way they're portraying John Walker and the way, the Captain America, where they're portraying him and the way that they're portraying America, I can totally see how you could look at this and say, yeah, this show is anti-America and anti-military, right? But I like to look deeper and broader. Marvel as a whole has treated military vets very well. Look at Rhodey. Look at Sam Wilson. Look at Steve Rogers. Look at like Nick Fury is a military vet. I mean, there are lots of military vets in this show that are portrayed in a very good light. What Marvel has always done with characters and with storylines is they've given you two different viewpoints. It's the staple of Marvel Comics going back to their initiation. Marvel Comics, it's one of the best things about them. They show two different viewpoints. You may not like both viewpoints, but they show them both. They will give you both sides of a coin and let you choose. It is the best part of Marvel Comics. If you're talking X-Men and the strife between Professor X and Magneto, or if you're talking even also in the X-Men universe, which just like the people who are pro and against mutants in general. If you're talking, again, Avengers, Civil War, Marvel's Civil War, the whole thing with that, and the Superhuman Registration Act and all of that stuff. And they get into so many different things about giving you two sides of a coin and going, okay, now you as the consumer are here to, decide what side you're on. And this show is doing that. It's giving you two sides of a coin. It's giving you John Walker's side, and it's giving you the other side of that coin. Now, inevitably, John Walker is the villain of this particular thing. And it's also showing you a side of America that they hadn't shown before in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They've also shown a lot of the really good sides of America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Look at Captain America. Look at, some of the other Avengers. Look at, some of the other movies. They've already shown you all of this. So now they're showing you a different side. This goes right to the DNA of who and what Marvel is. So for all the people who are complaining about it, all I have to say is, look, it's different. That doesn't mean that Marvel is anti-America or anti-military. They're just showing you another viewpoint. You can like it or not like it, and that's fine. But to say that is going a step farther than what is the truth. And the truth is that Marvel is not either one of those things, because they've also shown the military in a good light. They've also shown America in a good light before in movies. So to say that is short-sighted. You have to look at the full picture, and the full picture is Marvel is just showing you a different viewpoint of America, and it may not be one that you want to see. And that's just what is happening. So I'm sorry if you don't agree. But that's what's happening. And that's my take on that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Now we're going to delve into the show. We're going to delve into episode 5. And I'm not going to go plot point by plot point, but I'm going to, point out a couple of the major plot points. And then I like to do it character by character and really go into the plot lines via the characters instead. So, but I will, this show started off, episode 5 started off with a bang. The big showdown. We finally got it with Bucky versus Captain America here, Mr. John Walker. You see the blood on the shield right there. You got Bucky versus him. It wasn't just Bucky, actually. It was Bucky and Sam. And they got the blood on the shield right there. It started off with a big fight. They take him on. Of course, it starts off, where, John Walker's like, you don't want to do this. And Bucky's like, yeah, we do, brah. Yeah, we do. The fight was awesome. I really enjoyed the fight. I thought the choreography was great. I think I just rewatched Civil War recently and The Winter Soldier recently. I do think they've depowered Bucky a little bit. Now, I don't know if it's a mental thing where he's just not balls to the wall, I'm a badass, so he's not as... But I think they've depowered him a little bit in some senses. I do feel like Bucky should have been able to put up a better one-on-one fight versus John Walker. But then again, we don't really know. Like, this serum is not the exact serum that Captain America took. This serum is a derivative, or it was based off of that, but it was changed. So I think there's just a lot that we don't know about the new serum. So, I guess it could make sense that the new PHAPTON America could be more powerful. And also, you have to remember, too, Steve Rogers beat the Winter Soldier, and he did it trying not to hurt him. So, there is that, too. But all in all, this fight scene was great. Of course, they ended up breaking John's arm and getting the shield. I love the part right after that where, right after the fight's done, Bucky goes, picks up the shield, and then he drops the shield right next to Sam and just gives him that look, and that look is just like, bruh, do not lose this goddamn thing again, all right? Do not lose this damn shield again. So I thought that was awesome. So anyway, so that's how we started off there. The next scene, of course, after that goes into here, which is... the scene of the trial or the hearing or whatever for John Walker. Again, like John Walker's sitting there, he's getting grilled by the government guys, and they're telling him, hey, like you're gonna get a less than honorable discharge, which is like just above dishonorable discharge. You're gonna get, they're telling him you crossed the line, you're stripped of the Captain America title. And I love, like, John Walker's just like, screw you guys, I'm out of here, just turns around and walks out. So, you just see, again, John Walker, and this is something he definitely would not have done pre-serum, so the serum is affecting him and affecting who he is. As on YouTube, Elevator's Not Worthy chimes in and says, hey, man, hey, what's up, dude? So anyway, John, he walks out of the hearing, which I thought was an awesome kind of scene there. So now I'm going to start getting into some of the characters here that we met. I'm going to start with some of the kind of like secondary characters that we met, and then we're going to build on to more of the bigger characters. So I just wanted to point out those 2 plot points right off the top, because that's kind of how the show started. And then I would really want to delve in through the rest of the episode, just going characters on where they were in this episode and where they're going to be. And I'm going to start with this one right here, which of course is Julia Dreyfus, and she's playing Tessa Valencia. I can never remember her name, but Contessa, we're going to go with that. So this is a big character in the Marvel Comics, and she has a huge arc that goes over a lot of different things in the comics with Contessa. So, and she, we don't really know what her role is going to be yet. She was very, in the show, very what's the word I'm looking for? Mysterious. We don't really know what's going on with her. So she sits down, she talks to John, she talks to his wife, she's talking about how she he took the serum, she knows that, and hey, we're gonna, we can use you, what they did to you is terrible here. The best thing you can do is give me a call. Well, the card's blank, so she's gonna, the best thing you can do is answer the phone when I call you. The card's blank that she gave him. But, so she just got introduced. Now, questions. Is she the power broker? Is she something else? Contessa, she in the comics, actually works with Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. So there's just a lot going on there. But what I do know about her, Julia Dreyfus, is going to be the actress for this character, not just in this particular show, but she's going to be in other movies as well. We're going to see her, I believe, in Black Widow and a few other movies and shows coming later. So she's got an overarching role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's going to be interesting to see where they take her. But I loved her character. I loved her entrance. I thought it was really cool. So I had a comment here. Elevator's not worthy. My favorite scene in the episode was a scene after the boat montage. It cuts to Bucky flipping a paint scraper like a knife. I grew up reading Winter Soldier comics, so it was really nostalgic. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And like the coolest thing, if you watch, there's some extras on the Winter Soldier. If you watch some of those extras on go on Disney Plus, watch the extras on the movie Captain America Winter Soldier. They show Sebastian Stan getting that knife training, and he's doing a lot of that stuff, so it's kind of cool just to see him just sitting there messing around with the knife. I thought that was cool as well. Elevator's not worthy. Jackie LaRose, just a little comment there. Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate that. So, so that's kind of where I think the character of Contessa is going to go. I think she's got a big, broad arc that's going to kind of go over multiple shows and movies and whatnot. But I think it'll be good. I think it's going to be really good. And again, you could not have asked for a better actress, in my opinion. Yes, it did kind of take me a second to not see Elaine from Seinfeld, but it only took a second, and then I got over it. So, all right, let's go to the next character I wanted to delve into here, and that is Isaiah Bradley. So Sam in this episode revisits Isaiah Bradley. He brings him the shield. Isaiah's like, is that what I think it is? Get it out of here. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. So that whole scene, he's sitting down with Isaiah, and Isaiah then finally gives Sam his backstory about like what happened to him and why he is the way he is and what the government did to him and locked him up for 30 years for doing the exact same thing that Steve Rogers did for his men in the Captain America First Avenger. So Steve, if you watch Captain America First Avenger, Steve Rogers disobeys orders, goes, gets his men, frees them, brings them back, and he's a hero. Isaiah Bradley does it, gets locked away and experimented on for 30 years. So yeah, he's angry. He is angry. And, in his world and what he had to deal with, it's because he's black. And that's the way he sees it. That's the way he feels it. I can't blame him for that, man. I mean, what else are you supposed to think? Steve Rogers does it, it's okay. Isaiah Bradley does it, not okay. So, it's a very interesting thing, man. It's a very interesting thing. So, so there was that. I thought the back and forth between Isaiah and Sam was really good. A very powerful scene for sure. Isaiah talking about his wife and how he never got to see her, how they wouldn't let him get her letters. They told her that, he was dead, all of that. A great scene, and it really helps understand. And the biggest thing that he said, and the biggest thing take of all of that, and I think this is part of what Sam has struggled through this whole thing is, they're never going to let a black man be Captain America. And he said, and no self-respecting black man ever will. Now, I think Sam doesn't necessarily feel that way, in my opinion. And I feel like he explained that a little bit later when he's talking to his sister by the boat. And he says, look, Isaiah feels this way because of everything that has happened to him, and it's understandable, everything he's gone through, why he would feel that way, but I'm a fighter, and I'm going to fight. So it looks like Sam is considering or seriously considering taking on this mantle now, just from those conversations there as well. But understandably why he maybe had his reservations there. And to hear that from Isaiah, more reservations for sure. So, all right. So let's move on to the next character I wanted to delve into here. And that is going to be Sharon Carter. Sharon is shady as shit right now. That's the only way I can put it. Sharon Carter is shady as hell. Girl be making back deals behind back deals and working everybody on this board. Of course, the big question is Sharon the power broker? I'm thinking, yeah, I'm still feeling like Sharon's the power broker. And that's like the one big theory in this show. Who is the power broker? Who is the power broker? I'm feeling like it's Sharon. It just, you know, like they're portraying her right now as an arms dealer, you know, or whatever, that, or not an arms dealer, art dealer, like a black market art dealer. But she's got so many. Every time you see her, she's got like a bunch of guards around her. She's got like a bunch of people, you know, like heavily armed guards and heavily fortified areas. I'm sorry, but she seems like a boss, and she's probably the power broker. If not, she's probably working for the power broker. That's kind of my 2 thoughts on it. That's where I'm at. I'd love to hear from you guys if you're watching. What do you think about Sharon Carter? Is Sharon the power broker? Are you feeling that? Are you feeling like maybe she works for him? What is Sharon's role? What I can tell you is she's shady. So she flat out made a phone call to Batroc and told him to go see Karli. And she set up Karli with Batroc, who's trying to kill the Falcon, but then she was also working with the Falcon before. So what is her role exactly? As Jackie chimes in and says, I totally think she is. And yeah, I mean, I just don't see another... I don't see another person who it could be, and I feel like they wouldn't just give us a rando, or they may just not give us the power broker. I mean, we may not end up finding out, right? Marvel, gotta love them. But in the end, I do think that Sharon is the power broker, and if she's not the power broker, at the very least, she is shady as hell. Shady as hell. And that does bring me to, of course, the next character I want to talk about really quick, and that is Batroc. So Batroc the Leaper, Batroc gets called by Sharon and gets set up, and then he brings some arms and stuff to Karli in New York. So, I mean, he's, you know, being brought in again, too. He flat out tells Karli, hey, I'm not, you know, interested in your cause, but I do want to, you know, kill the Falcon. And she's like, well, you're going to get your chance. Just stick around. So, like, he's a pretty simple character. I think he's going to have a definite role in the final episode for sure. I do feel like Batroc's going to definitely be fighting Sam and trying to kill him. We'll see if it's Sam and Bucky who end up taking him out, or just Sam. I don't know. I have a feeling that's going to be kind of like a level that Sam's going to have to, almost like a video game, right? Like he's got to beat Batroc, and then he's got to beat Karli. And so like it's going to be a stepping stone for him. As Jackie chimes in and says, she's skying folks she's psyching folks out. Yeah, Jackie, I mean, I feel like you're right there. She's got some nefarious... Either she's, like, double agenting almost like Black Widow, or she's got some plans that she's just setting everybody up. So, but Batroc seems to be a part of those plans, and Batroc the Leaper is definitely going to be a part of, you know, the narrative going forward for the final episode. So it'll be very interesting to see where his place is in the show. So next character I wanted to talk about, of course, is Karli, because that's who he met. Now, Karli didn't have a huge role in this particular episode. Obviously, she is the main villain of the show, but obviously now we know she is in the U.S. She's in New York, and they're going to be hitting the relocation committee, the Global Relocation Committee, the GRC, and they started to. Like, so that's happening, and that's where we're probably going to pick up in the finale is right there, I'm guessing. Karli is pretty simple. Honestly, she's fighting for her people, but she's lost it because she took the serum. I think Karli's role is just, you know, she's the antagonist, but you feel for her because it's not so much that her cause is wrong, it's just the way she's going about it, because she's lost her mind, and she's taking it too far. She's taking it way too far. And I don't think things are going to end well for Karli, one way or another. Either it's the power broker taking her out, or she's going to die. I have a feeling her and all of those people are going to die. So all of the ones that took the serum who are part of the flag stompers. So that's my opinion on that. All right. So, but yeah, I do feel like Karli, you know, her role is simple, but necessary. And my prediction for her going forward, I think, is she is definitely going to die one way or another. Next character I want to talk about, and again, not a huge role in this episode, but Zemo. So Zemo did get turned over to the Dora Milaje. They picked him up. When they picked him up, the Dora Milaje told Bucky that they're going to take him to the raft. they told Bucky to stay away from Wakanda for a while. And then Bucky turns around and asks the Dura Milaje for a favor. So, but it was a good scene nonetheless. Bucky holding the gun to Zemo's head, pulling the trigger on the empty gun with the bullets out, showing him he's not a killer anymore. That's not who he is. I thought it was a good, powerful scene. I thought Bucky was definitely making a point there. And I liked the scene a lot. So, not a whole lot more to say. I think, honestly, I think Zemo's role in this show is probably done at this point. So that's kind of where I'm feeling. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think Zemo's going to have a bigger role going forward for the finale, or do you think he's done for the show now? Let me know. Comment below. I want to hear what you guys think. As Jackie chimes in and says, I was so proud of Bucky. Yeah, Bucky, his storyline, and we're going to get into Bucky, but like his character development in this show is unbelievable. I really loved it. And we're going to get into that. And that's part of where we're going to right now, because the next thing I wanted to talk about was Sam and Bucky together. And we finally got to see their friendship blossom a little. They even like flat out said it. It was like fourth wall breaking almost, to the point where they were like, look, we're just a couple of guys who had a mutual friend, and now we're just a couple of guys, we're not partners. We're not business. We're just, a couple of guys who know each other. Yeah, it works out. But the whole scene where they're throwing the Frisbee and they're talking, and, Bucky's explaining to Sam, look, when Steve told me his plan, obviously we wouldn't have known or thought of, how this would affect you as a black man. And then on top of it, Sam starts talking to Bucky and telling him, like, look, you got all these people on that list. You're trying to fix everything and stuff for you when you should be trying to fix for them. You should be trying to help them instead of trying to apologize to them for you. And it was awesome scene. I loved this scene. It's two guys, finally coming together as friends, and also like understanding each other, not just, well, I know you because we were both friends with Steve. They really, it was a definite, as Jackie chimes in and says, proud brother moment. So true. So true. And then, even before this, because Jackie had mentioned earlier about sorry, not Jackie, somebody else had mentioned about the boat and the whole montage with helping on the boat. I thought that was great. I loved, oh my God, you guys, I loved the part where, when Bucky first meets Sarah. Hi, I'm Bucky. Oh, I'm Sarah. And you can already see Sam like, like, stop hitting on my sister, dude. Stop hitting my sister. Oh my God, that was awesome. But yeah, I honestly felt like this episode was the best episode as far as the relationship between Bucky and Sam and building that rapport that I think we're going to see in the future, going forward. And they're going to be a team. They're going to be partners. You're seeing it kind of develop now as Jackie chimes in and says, shoot your shot, Bucky. Oh my God. I'd love to see it, Jackie. I'd love to see it. But anyway, I just loved the whole montage. And then Jackie says, I ship Sarah and Bucky. Oh man, dude, how many like couples have been shipped in Marvel now? Like I'd love to, like, I should do a show on that. How many did all the Marvel shipping couples, right? But to get to Bucky really quick before I get to Sam, Bucky's character arc in this show has really like been phenomenal. The writing is great, and what they're doing with him is great. And really flushing out like all the torture and torment that he's going through coming out of being the Winter Soldier and trying to become a good man and trying to live up to what Steve saw in him and who Steve thought he could be. And it's just incredible the way they did that. I really, really do think that this is some of the best writing Marvel has done. And again, character building. And it makes me want to see Bucky for like I really hope that Sam and Bucky have a big part in the MCU going forward, because I can't wait to see this. And just watching Bucky's development now as a person, it's great to see. I love it. I think it's great. So, and that brings me to Sam, because Sam's the final character I wanted to touch on before we kind of look forward to episode 6. So Sam, of course, as you see here, what's in the box? What's in the box? We all want to know. We're all like Brad Pitt right now in the movie 7. What's in the fucking box? Yeah, that's all of us. All of us audience members right now. But before we get to the box, let me get to Sam. Sam has been dealing with the fact of, does he want to or does he not want to be Captain America? Obviously, he walked away from it before the beginning of it. Now he's got the shield back, and it's, again, struggling with that. He went and saw Isaiah. Isaiah is telling him, look, man, any self-respecting black man wouldn't do this. But, Sam's sitting there saying, you know what? I understand why Isaiah feels that way, but I am me. I'm going to walk my own path, as he's talking to Sarah. Bucky, says, look, I'm sorry, we didn't understand that could be an issue for you, and whatever you choose to do basically is good. Just, don't give it up to some fucking idiots, more or less. It's a really good, walk through Sam's mind and what he's going through and his emotions and everything, and how he feels. And does he take on the role of Captain America? Does he pick up the mantle from Steve? And it's really tough, man. It's really tough. As Jackie chimes in, she says it's his beaten stick in case Bucky does shoot his shot. That's what's in the Oh my God! Would Bucky give him a stick to beat him up with, though, if he does try to get with his sister? Bro, man, this. So like, if you try to date my sister, man, just beat me up with this. Oh my God, that's funny. But yeah, I think Sam's character development also, like Bucky and Sam in the show, and the development they've done with those two guys is unbelievable, and I've just really loved it. Again, the writing in the show is very top notch. And I've just really enjoyed it as a whole. This show has been amazing. And again, it's all about character growth. And again, I keep stressing this. I don't think they're just setting up character growth for the payoff for episode 6 of this series. I think they're setting up character growth for the payoff for something way bigger down the road. With Marvel, especially Kevin Feige, he thinks light years ahead. He's 10 years ahead of us right now. So I think they're really setting up Sam and Bucky for something big later, not just this coming week, but later down the road, way later. But that's just my opinion. So all in all, to recap episode 5, I really enjoyed it. I loved, again, the Bucky and the Sam back and forth. The character development on Sam was phenomenal. The character development on Bucky is phenomenal. The character development on John Walker was great. And you may hate Captain America like I do, but you're supposed to. Wyatt Russell is killing this role. He is killing it. He is doing such a great job. And it's just, I hate the guy, and I'm supposed to, and that's exactly what they're doing. And it's great. I really am enjoying it. And again, especially the last 2 episodes have been great, and I'm really hoping for a big finish on Friday. And that being said, we're going to get into the questions that we have. So I have 9, I found an article here, 9 questions for the Falcon and Winter Soldier finale going into it. So we're going to read off those. Jackie chimes in really quick. She says, can we also talk about how Bucky had a peaceful sleep on Sam's couch? Yes, Jackie, that's a great point. Before I get into the questions for the finale, yeah, Jackie, I will touch on that. So what Jackie's talking about, and this is a throwback, and I don't know how many people picked this up. So when Sam and Steve first met, the first thing they bonded over was sleep. He's like, it's your bed, right? And Steve's like, what? And Sam's like, it's your bed. You're used to sleeping in caves and on rocks and, like during war. And then all of a sudden you get into bed and it feels like a bunch of pillows. And Steve's like, yeah, it's like a cloud. I feel like I'm going to fall right through. And they turn that around and put Bucky on the couch in this episode. They didn't say or reference that other conversation at all, but I thought it was a great throwback to that. It looked like for the first time in a long time, Bucky had a peaceful sleep, got woke up by the two kids playing with the shield, which I thought was funny. And I mean, if you're a kid and you saw Captain America's shield sitting there, would you not play with it? I totally would. So, but yes, Jackie, I thought that was an awesome point. Yeah, he finally got a good night's sleep. Again, still probably having the nightmares. That's probably not going to go away for a while, and he said that afterwards. But still, I thought that was a great kind of throwback and connection to what Steve and Sam bonded over in the first place. And then, finally Bucky gets a peaceful night's sleep on Sam's couch, which I thought was awesome. So, all right. So going to our questions now. Here we go. 9 questions leading into the season finale. So the preview for the season finale, episode 6 for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Question number 1, what is Sharon Carter's endgame? So, and then they explain here, Sharon has been on, what is it, LAM? I don't know. Anyway, since Captain America's Civil War, but she hasn't been hiding in cheap motels. She lives a life of power and prestige in the criminal haven of Madripoor, but Sharon seemingly wants out so she can see her family. The wish seems to be sincere given that she saved Sam and Bucky. I don't agree with that assessment at all, actually. It seems like Sharon is all about her power right now. I think, again, my prediction with Sharon Carter is she is the power broker. That is my prediction. Sharon Carter, I think she's the power broker as well. Jackie also chimes in really quick, says, Becky was thinking, I'm going to be your stepdad. I saw that meme. To the kids, I'm going to be your stepdad soon. That's funny. All right, so I think Sharon is going to be the power broker. That's my big prediction again with Sharon. We'll see, or she works for the power broker. But no, I don't agree with this article at all, talking about how she wants to see her family. I don't think Sharon gives the way she's acting doesn't seem like she gives two flying Fs about her family. It looks like she wants the power. I think she's jaded. I think she's pissed. Not only, think about this for a second, right? So, Civil War, right? Bucky, Sam, Captain America, and we find out later that Black Widow and Wanda all go on the run together, right? And so they're on the run. Guess who's not with them? Sharon. Bucky went and saved all them people from the raft, including Ant-Man and Hawkeye as well, right? Guess who he did? Or not Bucky, Steve. Captain America, the original OG, saved all them people from the raft. Guess who he didn't come back for? Sharon. Never seen. She's been stuck in Madripoor the whole time. Never came back for her. Why is that? Also, they shared that kiss in Captain America Civil War, and yet Cap decides to go back in time and get busy with her Aunt Peggy instead of her. You think she's happy about that? I don't think so. I think Sharon Carter has every reason to be angry and furious, and she's like, fuck the world, and she went and started her own mega thing. And as Jackie said, I second that prediction. I think she's the power broker. Jackie says, bingo bongo, so Sharon is probably salty as hell. Yeah, hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned, as they say. And yeah, no, I'm sure she's pissed. And that's my viewpoint on Sharon Carter. I really do think that she is the power broker. And that does lead to the next question in this article. The question says, just point blank, seriously, who is the power broker? So, again, you guys know, I just said it like 5 times. Sharon is my prediction, but we have possibilities here. Sharon Carter, Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fonte. I'm just going to say Contessa. So much easier to do that. So that's Julia Dreyfus's character. Thunderbolt Ross is a big prediction on the power broker. And yeah, so those are the big kind of 3 that we're seeing in the article. Those are the big 3 that I've heard. A lot of people were saying possibly Zemo too. I don't think it's Zemo. I think Zemo's arc is done here. So again, I'm just gonna reiterate what I said before. I think the power broker is Sharon. I think Sharon is either the power broker or working for the power broker. So, all right. Next question that the article has here. Let's see. Who is Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine, and what is she planning? Yeah, great question. Who is Val? Who is Val? And I think possibly in the comics, Val worked for Nick Fury. I think possibly that's a thing, but I not likely. More likely, Val's a villainous type that they're going to have, a new villainous type. I don't think she's the power broker. I really don't, but I could be wrong. But I think just Val's a new villainous type character who's going to have an overarching, kind of multiple role arc throughout Marvel the next few movies is my guess. So we will get a better idea of that, of course, in Black Widow, because Val is in that movie. So we're going to find out then. So I think we'll get something then. All right, next question. Can anyone make more Super Soldier Serum? So I think the answer to this question is no. I really don't. I think that she definitely not just anybody, can make Super Soldier Serum. So that's my opinion. I think that the guy that made it had the added advantage of working for the government for a while. They had the advantage of, all the stuff that they did with Isaiah Bradley and all the background they did with that as well. So no, I don't think that they could make more Super Soldier Serum. I think that that's a done thing now. And I think they're also going to eliminate a lot of the other super soldiers. One of the things that makes Captain America, Steve Rogers, unique is that he's basically the only one. If you have a bunch of them running around, don't think that's, a great thing. Now, I do know that, like in the comics, the Black Cat took a derivative of the Super Soldier Serum. So that's, part of how she has her power base. But I think they really do need to limit how many people they give that serum to as a whole, in my opinion. So yeah, my answer to that is no, I don't think anybody else can. All right. What fate awaits Karli in the Flag Smashers movement? And that's a good question. In my opinion, Karli's going to die. That's what I'm thinking. Karli's going to die. I think she's either going to get killed by John Walker, or she's going to get accidentally killed facing off versus Buck and Sam, or other thing, but I think Karli's going to die. I think all the Flag Smashers are going to die. I think they're doomed. That's my opinion. So let's see here. Is Zemo right about being too late to save Karli Morgenthau, or are Bucky and Sam correct in affirming that she doesn't have to die to be stopped? They can show her the error of her ways. Well, there's no redemption for her, right? Like, the thing with, you can't redeem her character. You just can't. I just don't see a redemption arc for that character. How do you redeem somebody who killed innocent people? Unless you somehow strip her of the super soldier formula and say, hey, the super soldier formula, isn't in you anymore, so we're going to give you a pardon. Like, I just don't see it. I don't see the redemption arc for Karli. I don't know what you guys think, but if Karli lives, here's a question, live chat. If Karli lives, is she redeemable? Can you redeem a character like that who has killed innocent people, blew them up in a building? The difference between someone like her and Bucky is Bucky was mind controlled. She wasn't. She had her own wits. Yes, granted, she took the Super Soldier Serum, but I just feel like she's non-redeemable at this point. I just don't feel like that's a thing. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you're watching here. Do you think that Karli Morgenthau is redeemable? And what do you think is going to happen to her? I don't think she is, and I think she's going to die. All right. That being said, let's move on to the next question. And the next question is, can the raft really hold Zemo? Yes. I think the raft is going to hold Zemo for a while. The only reason that some of the other people broke out of the raft is because Steve Rogers came and broke them out. Also, the raft has probably been fortified even more since that point. So yes, I think the raft will definitely hold her. I don't think that or hold him, I should say, Zemo. I don't think that he's gonna be able to break out of that. Jackie chimed in and said, "I don't think she's gonna make it." Talking about Karli. Yeah, I agree, Jackie. I think she's gonna die. And then she also said Zemo ain't getting out. I also agree with that. I don't think he's getting out. I think he is done. He's gonna be stuck in the raft. There's nobody unless somebody breaks him out, he's not getting out. That's the way I look at Zemo. So, all right. Hold that thought. All right. Sorry about that. Next question. Will the public ever hear Isaiah Bradley's story? I'm going to say no. Definitely no. Jackie said he's finito. I think you're talking about Zemo there. Yeah, I think he's done. Yeah, so will the public ever hear Isaiah Bradley's story? I'm going to say no. I don't think Isaiah wants the public to hear his story. I think Isaiah is scarred, scared, and he just wants to live the rest of his life in seclusion. And who could blame the guy? Who could blame the guy? You know, I don't blame him. Nope. If I was in that position, that's exactly how I would feel. No, I don't think that the public's ever going to hear Isaiah's story. Let me see what the article says here. Isaiah Bradley has suffered enough for America, which used and abused the brave soldier. He more than deserves to live out his remaining years in anonymity, lest he become a test subject again or worse. But will anyone ever tell the story, and how would the United States react to it? Well, I'll tell you this. I think it would be a big black eye on the US of A if the story got out, and I don't think they would react well. But I also think, in the right circumstances at this point, I feel like he'd be safe. It would be how they revealed that story, I think. But yeah, honestly, if I was Isaiah, I wouldn't want the story getting out. I know Sam probably won't tell it. Jackie chimes in and says, I think the public should, but they won't. Yeah, I mean, whether they should know is a different story. Of course they should know. I mean, they should know. And look, maybe if Sam tells the story, he may tell the story, but just conclude that Isaiah's dead and not tell that part that he's not dead, and that's maybe something that they should do. But again, I still feel like Isaiah won't want it done. I just, judging from everything they've showed about Isaiah Bradley, I think he's just done, and he just wants to live out the rest of his life and not be bothered again. But that's kind of where I'm at. So, all right, let's go to the next question here. The next question is Steve Rogers dead? That's a great question. Well, they kind of teased a little bit in the beginning of the series about how, isn't Steve like living on the moon or something? Oh, please let that be a thing. But more realistically, since we saw Nick Fury on the base up in space for S.W.O.R.D., I'm guessing, we don't really know. That was the end credit scene for, what movie was that? Spider-Man, was it? Yeah, it was Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah. So we saw Nick Fury on the base. So I'm guessing if Steve is up there, he's hanging out with Nick Fury. Maybe not on the moon, but maybe on that space base. He might be chilling up there with Nick Fury. So, and that'd be honestly a good combo, to have up there. Like be something that Steve can do still, and yeah, I think it'd be good for him. So that's a possibility. But other than that, no, I don't think he's dead. I think he's alive. I also think that there's a chance we might see him find the Fountain of Youth somehow and come back, but not on this show. That's not going to happen in episode 6. I do think there's about a 25% chance we will get a Steve Rogers cameo of some type, though. I just feel like it would fit perfectly, right? But that being said, who knows? Who knows? We did not get all the big payoffs we thought we were going to get with WandaVision. And I blame Mandalorian Season 2 for us wanting all these ginormous payoffs. But, yeah, who knows? It's possible we might see Steve. But I do think he's alive. So, all right, next question. Is John Walker about to become U.S. agent? Yes. But they may not call him that. So John Walker is about to become something, right? I think he's going to try to dress up as Captain America again. I think he's going to get his ass kicked as Captain America. somehow, some way again. And I think then at that point, I think it's going to be Contessa Val, who changes him and makes him U.S. agent or some type of variant of that. So that's kind of my opinion. That's the way I look at it. Let's see what the article says. Article says John Walker is no longer Captain America. His country discarded him after years of service, but he's still a super soldier who wants to keep fighting. Walker is unhinged and seeking vengeance. He also just made himself a Star Spangled Banner knockoff shield. Whether he ends up working for Valentina Allegra or that mid-credits scene hinted that he would take up his comic book persona of the U.S. agent. So, as Becca chimes in, says, "Hi, Mike." Hi, Becca. Good to see you. So again, I think he's going to end up right now. I think he still thinks he's Captain America, and I think he's going to go out of his way to try to show that he is Captain America. But in the end, I think he's going to end up as U.S. agent. I think that Val is going to basically transform him into that, and that'll be his role in some way, shape, or form. The question is right now, like, the only thing he's done is he's violently killed a terrorist in public, right? Technically not illegal, just not really good. As Becca chimed in, says, "I have no opinions other than the scene of blood on the shield makes me cry every time." And that was so unsettling, she says. That was such a powerful scene too. Like, what a great visual that was. And it really showed, because what that shield means, and then to see it like that, wow. Just wow. I also think that the scene with Bucky and Sam throwing the shield around, and then Sam doing the whole montage of training with the shield, was a good kind of restoration of putting the shield back on the mantle that it belongs on, because they showed that scene with the shield with the blood, and then they had the Isaiah Bradley scene where he didn't want anything to do with that shield and or its legacy. And I think that having the scene with Bucky and Sam kind of redeeming the shield a little bit, it really did, and I thought that was cool too. But getting back to U.S. Agent, I feel like right now John thinks he is Captain America still, but I think he's going to get his ass kicked. And I think after that, then I think Val's going to go see him. And as long as he doesn't do anything crazy, like, again, all he has done right now is killed a terrorist. Granted, very violently, in cold blood, basically, but it's a terrorist, so that's why they didn't throw him in jail. And given his record, as long as he tiptoes that line, I think he's going to be a guy who ends up getting used as, like a U.S. agent and some kind of like almost like the Punisher, like that kind of character. Anti-hero, that's what I'm looking for. As Becca chimes in, did you see the Hallmark release of the new Captain America Falcon outfit in their ornaments catalog? I did not. I actively try to avoid a lot of that stuff, but I wouldn't be surprised. That's the other thing. What's in the box, right? So I feel like what's in the box is probably a Captain America Falcon outfit that you're talking about, and that's in the comics. They have that Captain America Falcon outfit, and also, who better to make something like that than the Wakandans? I mean, they're kind of amazing, so I feel like that's exactly what that probably is. All right, let's see, and that's all the questions I have. So I'm going to kind of give my synopsis of what I think is going to go down, my prediction here for episode 6, the finale. I think that Karli and the Flag Smashers are going to die. I think that's going to go down right away. I think that John Walker could possibly be the one who does it. I also think Batroc could, be the one that does it. Maybe Sharon actually hired him to kill Karli because she's the power broker. That's a thought too. They also could die just simply in battle with Bucky and Falcon or whomever shows themselves. But I think Karli's done. Karli's going to die. I think the Flag Smashers are going to die. I think that whole trope is going to end early in the episode. Then I think you're going to get the battle again with John Walker and Bucky and Sam. I think that's going to be a huge fight right there. I think you'll get your reveal of the power broker. I do think it's going to be Sharon, as Becca chimes in, says, I called Sharon as the power broker since the bar scene. Yeah. And just, dude, again, she's a woman scorned right now. She is pissed. And I think she's pissed at Steve Rogers, too. I don't think she's just pissed at, U.S. and pissed because she can't see her family. I think she's pissed at Steve because he never came back and rescued her, even though he went back and rescued all the other heroes. And on top of it, he then turned around and went back in time and made nicey nice and smoochy smooch with her aunt instead of her. So he picked Peggy over her, and I think she's scorned and pissed, and I think that's her main motivation even more than anything else. Jackie says, I'm willing to put money on it. Yeah, me too. I think Sharon is legit just furious over, and I think it's more to do with Steve. I really do, than I think it is to do with the fact that she got kind of left behind. I think it's because Steve left her behind, and I think she's just done. So that's my prediction with Sharon. I think we're going to see Val one more time, but I think as Becca just chimes in, hell hath no fury is a woman scorn. That's what I said earlier. And yeah, exactly. I think we'll see Val again, but I think it's just another quick cameo. I am predicting we will get the Steve Rogers cameo, but I think it will be just literally a quick cameo. I do think it'll be on the moon base with Nick Fury. I think that's what we're going to see. That's my guess. But total guess. If it happens, that's my guess, but it's probably a 25% chance that we'll get the Steve Rogers cameo. So, but I do think, all in all, it's going to end where where Sam decides he will, for sure, take on the mantle of Captain America. I think that's going to be a definite thing. And yeah, that's kind of my big bold predictions there. I think the episode will probably be just over an hour long is my guess. As Jackie chimes in and says, Steve on the moon 2021. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool, right? Like old man Steve Rogers just chilling, sipping Mai Tais with Nick Fury on the moon base there. I think that'd be kind of funny. So that's kind of my thought on that. But those are my big predictions for the show. I do have a tip comment here that came in. This is from my guy, Del Mackey. Del Mackey sent in a tip. Said, hey, Mike, final predictions. Bucky gets the shield. Sharon is jaded from Cap and is the power broker. Dude, like, man, everybody watching this show has got the same opinion today. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I think that's, yep, you're going to, oh, no, I'm sorry. He said Bucky gets the shield, not Sam. Interesting. I don't agree with that part, Del. I don't think Bucky... I think Bucky is definitely not going to get the shield. One, he knew Cap didn't want to give it to him. He wanted to give it to Sam. More importantly, I don't think Bucky feels like he... I don't think Bucky feels like he deserves the shield. And he's not there in a place of his kind of rebuilding where he would feel as if he's deserving of the mantle of Captain America. I just don't feel like Bucky would do that. I think it's Sam. I think Sam's going to be the guy, takes on the Captain. He finally decides to become Captain America, or Captain Falcon, as I like to call him, because he still has his Falcon powers too in the comics. So I actually think that'll be the role that he'll have. So, but other than that, yes, I agree with you, Del, and I appreciate the tip comment, Del. As Becca chimes in, we're all going to be so confused if Sharon isn't the power broker. Bucky feels he doesn't deserve it. And it was like Steve's dying wish for Sam to continue. Bucky wouldn't go against his best friend like that. I agree, Becca. Totally agree. I just, as much as it's a possibility, I guess, that Bucky could get the shield. But I think the only way that happens is if Sam died, which I don't foresee Sam or Bucky dying in this. So other than that, I don't see any scenario where Bucky takes the shield. So, or... unless Sam gives it to him. That's the other thing. Because there is that line from Isaiah that says, no self-respecting black man would take on the mantle of Captain America. So if Sam ends up agreeing with that in the end, then he could give Bucky the shield. That'd be the only other scenario. But I think if Bucky took it, he'd reluctantly take it. I really don't see a big scenario where he'd want to willingly take that shield. But that's kind of how I feel on it. And that's going to do it, guys. So that's our open spoiler discussion for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I want to thank Becca for chiming in. I want to thank Jackie for chiming in. I want to thank Elevators Not Worthy for chiming in on the show. My guy Del Mackey sent in the tip comment. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm going to do my next Movie Idiot show on Friday. We're going to do one. So I'm going to try to do Mondays and Fridays from now on until I can't do that anymore. So my next Movie Idiot show will be on Friday, 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then obviously we will do a full-on series finale spoiler discussion for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't know what day I will do that. I will probably have that decision made on Friday, so I'll let you guys know on that as well. A couple of more things. Beck chimes in really quick, says, I think Sam is going to prove Isaiah wrong and show the world is ready for a Black Captain America. I do think that's where it's going to go to, but we will see, Becca. We will see. And then Jackie says, bows, welcome. Again, thank you. Appreciate it. And Becca chimes in and says, thanks for the show, Mike. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. I will catch you guys later. I'll catch you guys on Friday for the main show, the Movie Idiot Show, Friday, 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you all later. Peace.